And Kirk did the prayer at the end of it. And I remember Kirk being very upset about that situation. That's the bar. The lion and the lamb must bow down to the goat. Now, someone called him on this. He might want to change that bar. Possible he doesn't know the imagery of a lion and lamb referring to Christ. There's no way. John, I don't believe that. I don't think he doesn't know the imagery.
Ruslan.
Kirk Franklin drops a teaser from his B.E.T freestyle, and he has a bar in it. And the bar in the teaser says, "The lion and the lamb must bow down to the goat." Now, on the surface level, I'm not going to play it because it's going to get hit with AdSense. The lion and the lamb must bow down to the goat. Now, rightfully so, Christian's like, what are you talking about, bro? The lion and the lamb is Jesus. Must bow down to the goat. Are you saying you're the goat and the lion and the lamb must bow down to you? No, Kirk Franklin's not a rapper. So when he said that bar, I think many of us were like taking it back and going, whoa, what are you talking about? It's kind of crazy. Saw a bunch of videos about it. Now, full discretion, I'm very fond of Kirk. I hope to do an interview with Kirk someday. I think Kirk is really talented, really dope. I love his last album. I like the stuff he put out with Maverick City Music. So when I saw this, I was taken aback, and I was like, man, this can't be right. Okay, I'm not gonna play a lot of it because it's gonna get flagged. DJ Envy DJing him for him.
This is the most high bought me since I've been 150 tried to rob me. He can't cause.
Since I've been 150 tried to rob me. There's some good bars in this.
Jesus is prodigy, dope as ever probably, always stay in character. Church can make some characters that categorically deny God's character.
The whole verse is fairly overt about the gospel.
In sync, like Big and J and Nas, the greatest take a vote. The lion and the lamb will bow down to the goat. I don't want to make no moment.
That's the bar. The lion and the lamb must bow down to the goat. Now, someone called him on this, and I don't know if it was in this comment section. What do you mean by goat? You know what you mean. I'm just going to make up my own songs in the shower and sing them on repeat to myself. I can't trust anyone anymore. And these other gospel singers totally disregarded what you said. Who is the lion and who is the lamb? Are you referring to, and why in the world would they be bowing down to anything? This is crazy. Okay, so let's see if Kirk responded to it. So here is Kirk Franklin's response to this whole debacle. Shout out to my man Truther for sending me the tweet. Guys, I want to make sure that you guys know about our upcoming podcast launch, October 20th. The tickets for that are pinned up at $7. And I would like to give you guys an exclusive preview. No one's seen these little previews of these conversations of some of the guests we've had, but I want to give you guys an exclusive preview so that you guys can get an idea of what to expect.
I've always thought it was nasty to not put in 2 weeks. I quit that day.
I wasn't even in the mood to sleep with these girls, but I felt like I had to.
How come none of these personalities are ever doing anything benevolent? So I think that there could be a spiritual, maybe potential demonic component that's in there that we haven't explored.
The fact that I was single until I was 40, and I knew I was never going to plan a church being a single guy. I wasn't about to set myself up.
You know, and then I remember one time my financial advisor at the time, she was like, hey, did you know you're spending more than you're making every month? And I was like, oh, for real?
And I'm supposed to, perform. This production assistant's like, hey, here's a Viagra. Take it if you want to take it. Don't if you don't. It's in your hand. It's yours.
I teamed up with Moment for the exclusive live premiere of the anticipated Bless God podcast. And the tickets for that are only $7. When you get to the main page, click the yellow Get Ticket button, scroll down to the add-ons and throw in your ticket to the after party as well as some exclusive merchandise. And I will see you there. Okay, he said, in hip hop, who is the greatest? GOAT, G-O-T, greatest of all time, right? Has always been a discussion. Metaphorically, I position those considered great as lions and lambs, and how they will someday bow down to Jesus, who is the greatest of all time. It's hyperbole, not theology. I'm gonna go ahead and like that tweet. Okay, so that's his explanation for it. I think people jumped out the window and thought that he was saying he was the GOAT and that Jesus has to bow down to him, even though the rest of the verse was. The rest of the verse was repping Jesus and how amazing Jesus is for saving him and giving him a new heart. What do you guys think of this explanation? Now, I don't think it was a good bar. I think it's a bad bar. It's a confusing bar. I'm glad he explained it. But to say goat, because I also think of Jesus will separate the sheep from the goats, right? I think of that verse. So I don't think it was, it was the best bar. But to his explanation, he says it's hyperbole, not theology. A lot of hip hop, a lot of lyrics are hyperbole, not theology. I don't think Kirk sold his soul to Satan. I think Kirk has been fairly consistent. I think if you listen to that full verse, which we're not going to right now because it's going to get the video flagged and demonetized, he's fairly clearly repping Jesus, hardcore repping Jesus, right? Kirk is the same guy that flipped out. Well, he flipped out on the Son too. We know about that. But Kirk's the same guy that he did the Kanye record with Ultralight Beam. He did that Kanye record, and then Chance cussed on it. And Kirk was very upset that Chance cussed on a record that he was on. I know that for a fact. I actually heard a snippet. I actually heard a demo version of that record before it was out, and it was Chance's cadence, just mumbled out before he had words to it. And Chance cussed on the Ultralight Beam record, and Kirk did the prayer at the end of it. And I remember Kirk being very upset about that situation. So Kirk's been around this thing for a very long time, guys. Kirk had radio hits when I was in high school, okay, over 20 years ago. So I don't think Kirk sold his soul to the devil or anything. I think this is a bad bar. Someone that's not a rapper that said something confusing and should have had somebody on his team go, wait a minute, you going to get the Pharisees mad with this one, bud. You might want to change that bar. And I think he probably rushed it when he wrote it, and I don't think there's anything here. I think sometimes folks are looking for something to be mad about, and I don't think this is the thing to be mad about personally. He should have written it differently. He should have bounced it off somebody. He should have had somebody help him write it maybe. I think folks jumped out the window with this. I think that's my opinion. Funny how we jump to assign motive to people. This is the opposite of a good faith argument, is when you start assuming people's motives. I think the lyrics are too close to theology, back to asking definitions of people's words. Anyone could put lyrics to a good beat and people think it was fantastic. I couldn't even understand them. Not a good bar as a Christian, probably a good bar for a non-Christian. I used to dunk on every popular figure that screws up and how they put things together. Verdict is irritating for how bad he puts things together, but he means well. Ain't writing anyone off unless clear or intention. As a musician and singer, I'd be upset too, to be honest. Do you want a revolution? Woo, woo. It's possible he doesn't know the imagery of lion and lamb referring to Christ. There's no way. John, I don't believe that. I don't think he doesn't know the imagery. Kirk's fairly decent at theology. I feel like he's very, very consistent. I've watched his Breakfast Club interviews. I've reacted to him. I think he's done a good job in consistently repping Jesus, repping a lot of Christian positions with regards to, a plethora of issues. So I think it was just a bad bar. I went to his 30-year anniversary tour. When Kirk gets to heaven, he will say, I'm sorry, Jesus, it was just hyperbole. Probably. Yeah, I said it was a bad bar. He's not a rapper, and he should give a quick explanation, still getting bodied in comment section. Someone said Remy Ma was helping in the writing process for the non-rappers, but not confirmed yet. Yeah, you probably should have had a Christian help with the writing process, Kirk. Tap in with your guy next time. Pastors and musicians need to be careful how they put things. They may be solid and lead others astray, or not many. Maturity brings clarity, not confusion. Absolutely. People can mess up, right? Like you have to know that that's a reality. That's not okay. There needs to be mercy and grace for when people drop the ball. And I think he dropped the ball on that, but I don't think he sold his soul and whatever. I'm not canceling Kirk Franklin over this. Y'all can cancel him, but I'm not canceling him over this.
And it said that Simeon blessed God.